Go ahead, Audra.
Right. Rocco, this game, early on, you had a lot of really good things coming from some of your non-everyday players, and you were in control of the nice lead, and then things got away from you. It seemed like it just kind of kept snowballing. How would you sum up what seemed like kind of a game of two different stories?
Yeah, and the way the game was feeling, I guess you never know how things are going to play out because I think our confidence level was good. I think we played well early on. I think Rich settled in and gave us a nice start, and we put some runs on the board. We gave ourselves a chance and even the cushion that we talk about always wanting, but you can never have enough runs and. Tonight wasn't our night or our day as a whole with the guys that we brought in from the pen, and some of it didn't play out great, and some of it was probably just not being as sharp as we would want, and we couldn't get the outs. We just couldn't get these guys out, and they just kept putting the ball in play and having good swings, and it seemed like. That really, regardless of what we did, it didn't go the way we wanted.
A bit of a tough day for Eddie Rosario in that play down the left field line. Would you have preferred to see him to continue just to play the ball, even though he clearly was unsure of the ground rules here at the ballpark? But would you have liked or expected him to kind of still go with the play?
Well, it's a very unusual setup, but those are the ground rules, and I think in the heat of the moment when the game's going on and the ball appears to bounce up off the field and hit anything and stay in play, there are very few situations where that is the case, where the ball is live. But this is one of those places. I believe it's the first time that I've seen it in person over the last 2 years. It's not a play that happens very much. I mean, Eddie's been here, I'm guessing, 6 seasons. And he said he's never seen that before. So we shouldn't assume anything. We should, probably go over that again, just to make sure. Who knows if that'll pop up again? Even though it hasn't popped up in probably years, it could happen again tomorrow. So we'll be ready.
Dan.
Hey, Rocco, obviously you guys take that 6-2 lead and kind of push it. After that, things didn't go your way. Is this sort of the game that it's kind of best to flush it and move on, or how do you kind of want the players to think about it?
Yeah, we've been playing good baseball. There's not a lot to focus on, I don't think, in this game. I don't think there's a bigger picture discussion in any way to be had. We played a pretty good ball game for about half the ball game, maybe a little bit beyond that, but it went in a direction that we haven't seen very often. We haven't seen many games play out like that this year. Guys that have been fantastic for us, guys coming out of the bullpen that have been pretty much locked down from the beginning of the season until now. Didn't pitch as well as they normally do. That's going to happen. I'm not really worried about that part of it in any way. I mean, the Tigers went out there, they swung the bats good, and took it to us.
Dill?
Yeah, Rocco, with those guys that you've been able to pretty reliably turn to all season, to see them all get hit around like this on one day, was there any commonality to that you saw, or anything that you could point me to as to why the Tigers were hitting them so well?
Yeah, I don't. I had that thought. I'm like, this is fairly unusual to see our guys go out there and all come in and just, maybe not be as sharp, maybe not command the ball as well, but also giving up some hard hit balls too. And no, I don't have anything to point to say this is why, as a group, we didn't come out and throw the ball the way we normally would. But I have no doubt that we'll stick with our plan. These are guys that we rely on. We're going to continue to go to them, that they're going to be pitching in the same spots next time around, and I look forward to watching them pitch in those spots.
Lavelle?
Rocco, how surprised were you that Bonifacio was ruled safe?
From just knowing the replay just the way the replays have gone as a whole. The rulings and the calls they have to be, without any doubt. There can be no if there's a blur, if there's any doubt, if there's if Astudillo's arm is in the way, and you don't have a crisp view of a call that it needs to be overturned, the calls are going to stand. And do I think he was out? Probably, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't, probably or almost certainly does not give you what you need. So that's what the replay system is meant for. I bet if he was called out, I doubt the play would have been overturned the other way either. And I think there are a lot of calls that are really close like that that we have in our games, and that's kind of the way it goes.
I apologize if you happened to hear me yell when the ruling was made.
I did, but I assumed it was you.
Betsy.
Trevor has been hurt a lot more by the long ball this year than last year. Is there anything specific you've noticed with those pitches or the execution of those pitches that kind of explains that trend for you?
Not really. Not really. I think Trevor's been really good. Trevor's missed a ton of bats for us this year. It seems like when he has gotten hit, that there probably have been a few more home runs than he would like to see, but or would be expected. But I really do think that sometimes it's literally a pitch here or a pitch there that even if you throw those pitches again, those pitches. They're probably not going to get hit for home runs, but when you're a reliever, and those guys, they don't have as many innings as the starters. The sample sizes are pretty small. A couple guys put a couple of good swings on a ball, and you end up giving up a few more home runs. And it works the other way too. You have a few innings where some stuff goes your way, and you turn that around very quickly.
Any other questions for Rocco? Jim?
Rocco, I know I asked you about the play down the left field line. Any concerns about Eddie running right through it, not only through a stop sign, but almost through a third base coach?
No, and we did chat with Eddie after the inning, and he just said he didn't see Tony in time. So that's something that does happen, and he was, there were a lot of people running around in a small space. I think that can definitely play out, and Eddie usually does err on the side of aggression on the bases. Knowing our players and knowing how they generally take the field is part of it too. But we'd prefer that he get a better look at Tony and be able to hold up there. But he said he just couldn't see him, so that's really part of the game, and stuff like that. Does play out like that sometimes.
John?
Hey, I'm playing at the plate. To go back to the question on that, did they rule that he had touched the plate and was safe, or did they say that Astudillo had actually blocked the plate without the ball and therefore he was safe? So
we don't get that on the field. We just basically get the safe call, and we go on from there. And normally, you can get some sort of definitive explanation as to whether the play is confirmed or stands, or one way or the other. You do get to know if there is definitive evidence on the other side or not. But during the game, you play on, you take the ruling as it is, and you go from there. There are some things that happened in this game that you can point to that were close plays and maybe even difference making type plays that we either didn't execute properly on our end or just didn't go our way. And again, if you're going to win the ball game, I mean, you got to kind of take it out of the hands of the umpires, and you got to take it out of the hands of the other team. You got to take it to the other team, and today definitely we were not at our best, but that's understandable. We've won some good close games lately, and today was just not our day, but we'll be ready to go tomorrow.